Hello everyone, welcome back to the series of video lecture on English for Skill Enhancement. I am Arif Ahammed. I teach English at Department of SNH, MLR Institute of Technology. Now this topic was originally actually included in Unit 3 and this is a very important topic, fine, resume writing, because we all have to write resume. Nowadays we got many AI tools and all where we can actually get ready-made uh, resume, like resume generators are there. We don't actually compose resume nowadays. We just feed the information and we get the ready-made information, like resume. But still, we need to know what are the different parts of a resume and how we are supposed to write them, how we are supposed to frame them. That is very important. So, overview of the lecture. What are the things that I'm going to cover? A brief introduction about resume, what is a resume, and then structure and components, different components of a resume. Fine. So, what is a resume? A resume is your first impression on an employer. So that is very important because before meeting you, your employer actually gets familiar with your resume. So that's why it is your first impression in a way. It should be clear, concise, and tailored to the job. One mistake we do, one same resume we carry for all different types of job. No, it should not be the case. Each type of job should have different resume. And then objective, what is the objective of a resume? Secure an interview by showcasing your value. So basically, you represent your value through the resume in order to secure an interview. Please understand that a resume alone cannot give you a job or cannot secure a job. It will just secure an interview. Right? So key principle, what are the key principles that we should remember while writing a resume or composing a resume? Tailored to the job, we should go through the job description very carefully and according to the requirement of the job, we should actually tailor our resume. That is very important. Be result oriented, show measurable achievement. So talk about your achievements in measurable manner, quantifiable manner that can be easily measured. Don't use vague terminology. Highlight transferable skills, so emphasize adaptable skills. So there are certain skills that are transferable, like you can transfer from one particular field to another particular field. So highlight those skills because uh, when it comes to hard skills, you cannot transfer them. That they are only specific for one particular kind of area or industry. So if you are getting transferred or moving to a different kind of industry or area, those skills might not be useful. But soft skills or transferable skills are always useful. That's why you need to put special focus on them. And then use keywords, job description language, like you have to go through the job description in the advertisement and your keyword should matches with the keywords of that advertisement in terms of skills, experience, achievement, what are the requirement as being stated in the advertisement. Your resume also should contain those keywords. And professional appearance, keep it clean and readable. That is also very important. Fine. Now resume structures, let's see what are the components of resume and how do you arrange them. So this is the order, please remember that, and these are the components. First, contact information, career objective or summary, skills, education, work experience, internship, volunteer work, certifications and award, project and portfolio. Fine. So these are the parts. So how do you write it? Full name, larger font. Please use little, let's say Times New Roman font, 14 you can use or 16 max you can use. Uh, then professional emails and phone numbers, city and state, and then LinkedIn or portfolio link. If you have an online portfolio or LinkedIn account, you can add the link also. So that is first section of the resume, that is contact information. That comes at the top of the paper. Now let's say if this is the paper, here in center format also you can write, in left aligned way also you can write. This is contact information. Now second one is what? Objective and summary. Now this is also considered as optional, but it is helpful for clarity. So you mention here your objective. Keep it short and specific, 3-4 lines, not more than that. Focus on job title, industry or skill. So here the objective you can write as per the job you are applying for, according to the job. Now for example, it can be written in different way. Job title you can simply mention looking a post as software engineer you can use, or industry oriented or skills oriented also. Now the most recommended one is you should write the objective skill oriented. So see the example, seeking a marketing coordinator role to apply social media strategy and content creation skills. So you are actually mentioning the post also as well as skills. Two things you are combined. You are mixing everything here actually. So that is also one way of writing the objective. Right? Then next skill sections, what do you mention here? Include both technical and soft skills. Group skills into categories, like different categories use skills. Okay. Do not just list out all the skills one by one. Rather, certain categories you can put into one particular level. So categorize those skills in multiple levels. Mention proficiency levels. Also, in certain skills requires the proficiency level also, whether advanced, intermediate, or basic. That also should be mentioned. Use industry-specific keywords while writing skills. Uh, Industry-specific keywords should be used. Do not use just your random words to describe the skills. Fine. Now, next section is education. Here you should include your education and information list of degrees, institution, graduation dates, GPA. Okay, add relevant coursework and honors. All these things is part of your education. You can include it here. Work experience, reverse chronological order means the most latest one should come first, right? Reverse chronological order. And then job title, employer, location, dates. Use action verbs to start bullet points. Now, this is very important. You should write the experience in certain manner. You cannot just simply say worked as a software engineer at Infosys for 3 months. No, that's not the way. Highlight quantifiable results. Mention, use action verb to tell, to state what exactly did you do, and also highlight quantifiable results. What was the outcome of your work? That also you have to do. Avoid generic phrases like I was responsible for designing software. No, that is generic phrase. Do not do that. Highlight it in a quantifiable manner. How many software you have developed, or let's say because of the new software that you have developed, you know how much traffic has increased, or how customer feedback has actually improved. So remember, mention all those things so that it becomes clear what exactly did you do, and most importantly what was the outcome of your work. So that is very important. This section is very important, right? So you can follow star method here. Situation, so you first mention the context or background of your work, and then task, what needed to be done, what was required from you, and then what steps you took, and then outcomes and impact, what is the outcomes or impact. So these three four things you have to include. Star, please remember this. Situation, task, action, and result. See the example. Increased sales by 25% through targeted social media campaign. What was the situation? You were supposed to uh, increase the sale. Okay, that was the task that was required. And then what happened? What did you do? Steps you took through targeted social media campaign. You have undertaken targeted social media campaign. And what is the outcome ultimately? Sales have increased 25%. So it is clear, you see, you are mentioning what exactly was required from you, what was the task, how did you undertake the task, and then what impact you create through that task. The outcome in a quantifiable manner, 25%. Right? So that's how you write your work experience. Please do not simply say worked as an intern in this company, worked as a volunteer in this NGO. No, that's not the correct way of writing work experience. Follow this star method instead. Right? Additional section, these are additional sections. You can include all this information. Internship in one section, you can talk about internship, but in the same format. Star method, by following star. Just don't simply say worked as an intern in this industry. No. Mention exactly what task you did and what was the outcome. Volunteer work, certifications, awards or projects, all these things. Multiple sections, additional sections you can create, and you can include in a resume. Now, there are certain do's and don'ts, basic things. Proofread carefully before submitting, before sending the resume. Make sure that you are proofreading in order to check grammar mistakes, spelling mistakes, all those things. It should be maximum 1 to 2 pages. Nowadays, it is actually most of the time it is mentioned that only 1 page, not more than that. And then what is, use a professional font. Okay, do not use very designer kind of font. No, Times New Roman, simple professional font. Okay, and maintain uniformity. One section you are using one font, and then another section you are using a different font. No, do not do that. There should be uniformity. Then what are the don'ts? Use Do not use unprofessional email address. Be careful about your email address. If you have an unprofessional email address, it's always better to create a new one which sounds professional. loanrules@gmail.com. No, please. You might have done it during your fifth, sixth standard, but now you should not be using that kind of email ID for professional purpose. So make sure your email ID sounds professional. If not, you better create a new one with professional touch. Fine. Use fancy graphic or colors unless in creative field. So in creative field, you might have to include create like fancy graphics or color. But in normal field, IT field and all, engineering field, we are not supposed to use all of these things. No color, black and white only, no graphics, no fancy things in our resume. Right? Include irrelevant personal details. Do not include your irrelevant personal details. Do not mention your height, your appearance, and all those things. No, that's not required. Right? So electronic resume, when you are composing an electronic resume, what are the things that you should remember? Complex formatting or images, do not use them. Use standard font like Arial or Calibri. These are considered as standard form. Save as PDF. So wherever possible, always save your resume in PDF, because if you open that Word file in other system and all, it sometimes the alignment might change. So it's always better to save it in PDF. Use keywords for applicant tracking system. So you see nowadays the company they shortlist resume through this ATS. So that's why it's very important to use the same keywords. Whichever keywords they will be giving in job description, the same keywords should be there in your resume. Then only that ATS will pick it up. Otherwise, ATS won't detect your resume. Your resume will not be even opened by your employer. So please be careful with this thing also. Then few final tips. Keep it clear, concise, and tailored. As I told, one page very clearly. You should state all the information. Focus on results, not just duties. Do not just simply say what you did. Also mention what results you have created, you have ensured. That is also very important. Make it visually appealing but professional. So, in order to make it visually appealing, don't include some unnecessary graphics design or design font and all. Okay, but it should also be professional. But then it should be very neatly maintained. Alignment and all should be very clear. Update regularly to reflect your growth. Now you might be doing professionally growing, right? So through your professional growth, your these professional growth should be reflected in your resume also. So you cannot create one resume, let's say today, and then after 3 years you cannot use the same resume, because you might have learned many things in between. You might have done many more things in between. All those things should get included. So your resume must be upgraded, fine, updated regularly. That is one important thing. So I hope it is clear. So what did you learn today from today's lecture? What is the resume and what is its role, why it is important, and then the most important thing, structures and parts of a resume. This is also one important thing that we have learned. So with this, now I have finished all the topics from all the 5 units. Okay, I hope these video lectures would be really helpful for you, not only for your exam purpose, but also when you will try to learn these concepts in order to use them in real life situation. So thank you everyone for being with me, and I wish you all great learning. Thank you everyone.